So that's a nice.
It looks like a die cut that you would just buy from the store.
It looks that way, yet it's very professional looking. So one of the great points to this is, let's say with our current Cricut products, you wanted to make this piece. You would have to first off cut out each of the letters, and they would all be solid yellow. They wouldn't have all of these nice designs in them. So you'd have nice yellow letters, and then you'd cut out a blue background, and then you would glue all of that together. Well, now with this machine, you're able to do that. You're able to get beautiful, professional-looking artwork all as one piece that is part of a bigger piece. So this is our piece. I lost the of. We'll grab this of and stick it in there. That's our piece of cake artwork.
So show me how the screen works. This is really interesting.
Some of the things you've got here. First off, you've got a few different choices. This is all on this cartridge that we're looking at right here.
Okay.
You've got some pieces of stationery that you can print out, and it'll print out 11 1/4 by 11 1/4, and you've got your background pieces. Or there's lots of different artwork in here. This particular cartridge has kind of a vintage look to it, so it's not lots of vibrant colors. It's kind of an old-fashioned looking. But let's go to this Best Friends one, which is the one I was showing you earlier. And let's get rid of the green hood. I can print this image out first by adding it to the queue by clicking the plus, or I can go in and I can edit it first. And to edit it, I've got my original image here, and then I have all of its children, or all of its separate pieces, and I can go in and I can edit every one of those pieces.
Wow.
So let's say I want my little brown border around there, which is this piece. Let's say I want it to be a different color, but I'm not real good with colors. I don't really know what colors go well together. To the right of this symbol here are all images and patterns that were selected by a professional artist that they think go well together. So let's say I want my background border to be that red color. Changes it here, and it shows you what it's going to look like all together. Let's say I selected the color instead of dragging, so we're back to that color. Let's say I really want a bright red. I'm just crazy, and I want a bright red color. I can go and I can choose that color.
That's a solid versus a pattern. You've got the patterns and the solids if you want to play with it.
Now let's say I've got a particular party based around a color, and I have the RGB number for that color. I can go here, and I could do a couple of different things. I could drag over to that color of red, and then I know that my RGB color, red, green, blue, is 220, 91, 53. It gives me the exact color that somebody has told me that I should do my party around. Or maybe somebody says, hey, I really like that color of brown. What was it? I can go and say, okay, it's RGB, whatever. So you're allowed to choose any color that you want. And as far as patterns go, you're only limited to the patterns that are on that cartridge. We will be selling cartridges that all they are is different types of patterns and different types of colors.
Just for my readers, so that means that this one is going to be doing all of your color and patterns and texture. And then this one is like where you can use your regular cartridges from your old machine, but you can still use them here, or attach to your jukebox.
Correct.
And things like that.
Or the Gypsy.
Or your Gypsy.
And one other clarification, this cartridge also has all of these images already on it. So this particular cartridge isn't just patterns and colors, it is also artwork.
Excellent.
Okay, so we've gone in, we've adjusted for what we wanted. I don't want a 6.1-inch image, I want it to be a little bit smaller. We'll go to 2.7-inch image.
So this is another huge difference from the Expression. There are no size wheels and pressure wheels. It's all done on the screen this time. Okay,
so I've got my image exactly how I want it. I can print it all as one image by clicking that button, or I can print out all of the separate pieces by clicking that. And this is what would happen if I selected all the separate pieces.
So it's literally the separate pieces, but we're going to do it as one this time.
We're going to do it as one this time, so I'm going to go back over to that. I click apply. Now it shows my image in the queue. I click next.
It's very gypsy-y.
Yes, it is.
It's all very gypsy-y now.
And there's my image. Let's say I'm working with a scrap piece of paper and I've measured the size of that paper, I can go in with these buttons and I can adjust the size of my paper, and it's actually going to show me the size, and it's going to position my pieces so that they fit on that page, or if they're not going to fit on the page, it'll give me a second or a third page.
Wow.
So you've got all of those options. So I can also, let's say I want to make 3 of these. I can click on that, which is going to be an autofill. And it puts 3 on there.
There we go. So now you can see it.
Okay. So let's say I want to do 3 of them.
Yeah, well, let's see how this new mat works, too.
If I turn it off, if I don't want 3, I think, oh wait, I only want 1 of those. I just click on it again, and it gets rid of the other 2. Okay? So this is our new mat. This mat can be used on all of our current Cricuts, but this is the only type of mat that is going to work on the Imagine, and that is because of these black lines here. There are sensors now built into the cutter head and into the printer that look for the position of the mat, and once they have found the position of the mat, they then print. And then the cutter head comes out, looks for the position of the mat again, and says, hey, I printed an image earlier on this point of the mat, and now I need to cut around it. And so it finds those points, and then it moves the cutter head over, and it cuts all that out.
Wow.
So here's the big difference. You're used to, with your Cricut, you're used to feeding your mat under the rollers. You no longer do that. We have it clearly marked, insert mat here. You push it back until it hits the rollers. Apply just very gentle pressure, and you don't need to yet, but at this point you click go, and you just very lightly give pressure to it until the roller pulls it in.
Gotcha.
Now what it's doing at this point is it is rendering our artwork. We made changes to the artwork. We changed the color of that one background.
Yeah.
And so what it's doing now is saying, okay, I got to change this, got to change that. And it takes about 10, 20 seconds to
think about it
and say, okay, I'm ready.
Excellent.
So once that's done, now we're starting to print. You see it moving?
Yeah, inkjet technology by HP. It's right there.
There we go.
Can we talk about the cartridges, the print cartridges?
We can. There are a few different types. First off, it will still work with all of your Cricut cartridges. You'll be able to take all the images from those cartridges. You'll be able to change the color of them. You can add patterns to them, anything like that that you want to do with your current ones, change the sizes, all of that. There are also your Imagine cartridges, and there are a few different types of those. We are introducing 12 to start with, but as with all of our cartridges, we'll come out with 3, 5, whatever, every single month. There'll be lots, and they'll be on different themes. This particular cartridge has more of a vintage theme to it, so it's not bright, vibrant colors. It's more of a muted vintage look.
Shabby chic. Shabby chic.
Sounds good.
And what is the MSRP on the new cartridges?
The new Imagine cartridges I heard was $89. That's the MSRP in store. That will be different. So you're about to see this. It is now searching for the mat. There's a little sensor right there. It has now found the mat. It's going to check one more spot over on the side. It has now found it. It knows now where it has printed that image, and now it's going to cut around it.
And uses the same blade?
Uses the exact same blade housing as before.
So the Cricut blade is the same?
Cricut, it is exactly. I probably took that one off of the Cricut before bringing it in. So now it's done cutting. And then, oh, it didn't cut all the way through that time.
So are there pressures or speeds to also adjust on
There are, but they're all on screen now. You don't have different dials.
So kind of like with the
So, and